everyone. I'm Alicia Fiorletta, Senior Editor of Retail Touchpoints, and I have joining me now Sharon Klapka of Adore Me. Sharon, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
So to start out our conversation, obviously Adore Me is a somewhat new but growing business, growing quite rapidly, actually. So why don't you share a little bit about what you do within the organization, what your day-to-day life is like?
Sure. So a brief introduction about Adore Me itself. So Adore Me is a disruptive e-commerce lingerie startup, meaning that we are really here to revolutionize lingerie. And our entire goal is to create affordable, beautiful, fast fashion, intimates to women of every size and wallet size, I must say. My role, I lead the business and brand development team at Adore Me, which means that my day-to-day is actually pretty varied, meaning we go from anything that really involves putting the brand out there, being that, for example, our CEO just attended the conference here, meaning Fashion Digital Mobile, and spoke at one of the panels. We handle all the relationship with tech press, business press, fashion press. Our designer just interviewed at Glamour and talked about the trends for our upcoming spring, which is very exciting. Another thing that my team does is lead the brand partnerships, meaning we discuss partnerships both on the experiential marketing side and also really how to acquire customers in new and innovative concepts. Another thing is really how do we think of brand awareness initiatives, meaning looking into videos and also looking into pop-up stores later this year.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I would say that is what I do in a nutshell.
Well, it seems like you're kind of in the mix of all of the exciting things about Adore Me. Like you said, you're a disruptive brand, and it seems like you guys are really embracing whatever new concepts or new trends are really emerging, and you're kind of taking a look and saying, okay, how can this apply to the Adore Me brand and what works for us? And I think that's the most exciting thing.
Definitely. I have to say that, to be perfectly honest, because we're growing so rapidly, Adore Me, actually, we launched our website, I would say less than 3 years ago. And during that time frame, we've grown to be the number 3 fastest growing company in New York, according to the Inc. 500 list. And so, to be perfectly honest, everything is exciting right now at Adore Me. We're growing at an exponential pace. So, yes, I mean, we get to experience a lot of things, both really through innovation and also how do you grow a brand. So it is very, very exciting.
Oh, that's great. And you talked about how your CEO spoke on a panel this morning at FD Mobile.
Yes.
Why don't you give us a breakdown about not only the talking points and key takeaways, but also, what mobile means to the Adore Me brand in general, as a company that's so in tune with the latest consumer trends.
Yeah, sure. So Adore Me, at the end of the day, because we're a fast fashion brand and because we're disruptive and because we're also affordable, it is actually not surprising to us that our core customer is an urban millennial, meaning that 75% of our customers are age 18 to 34. And most of them actually live in large cities like New York, Chicago, LA, etc. So for us, mobile is key. I mean, these people experience the entire shopping, scenes through mobile, and 70% of our traffic, in fact, comes through mobile. So that actually means several things for Adore Me. The first is, because our customers are so attuned to shopping through mobile, and mobile first, I think a lot of people have been using, the combination of words mobile first, but for us, it's not a choice, it's a necessity. This is where our customers are and this is where they live. So for us, to be honest, it was very clear. We have both. We have a responsive mobile site, but also we have mobile apps, both on iPhone and on Android. So this is very interesting. Mobile first, so for example, we launch a new collection every single month, but we launch it a few days earlier on mobile. And for example, when Cyber Monday came along, or Black Friday, so some of our sales were featured on mobile first, and sometimes when you place an order on mobile, so you will be getting a gift with purchase that you would get exclusively on mobile. So for us, it is very important to have a mobile first experience. Another thing that is very interesting for Adore Me when it comes to mobile is, how do you innovate in these channels? And one of the things that Morgan addressed, which is very interesting, is we're an online brand, so I think a lot of the times when you think about innovation for online brands, especially on mobile, you think solely on online. But for us, one of the key innovations was actually offline. 2 months ago, we launched a national TV campaign on Bravo, Lifetime, MTV, etc. When we launched 3 different TV ads, and the results were amazing. Just because mobile is a second screen for TV, so we saw a surge in our mobile traffic. So that was very interesting for us as well, and really interesting how you can generate innovation in mobile through offline channels.
Oh, it's amazing. And given your target audience, since they are on the younger side overall, and they're described as digital natives, I mean, what other channels or tactics are really important to you guys from not only an acquisition standpoint, but a retention? How do you keep these consumers coming back for more?
That is a great question. So first of all, as far as our business model goes, so we have a subscription-based model, meaning you can always pay as you go. You can always place a single purchase as you would in any retail store. But we also have a subscription base. We have a VIP membership, meaning that you can opt into a model where you can place an order every month and get our gorgeous designs for $10 off every time, and you get exclusives, exclusive sales, etc. So this is really, in our mindset, how do you engage customers on an ongoing basis, especially when you're a fast fashion brand. And that subscription model is really translated into everything that we do online. Meaning we're advertising right now pretty much in every online channel that I could think that our customers are in, meaning be it Pandora, be it Spotify, be it Facebook, of course, be it Twitter in beta, Instagram in beta. So we try to live in all of these platforms, and it's very interesting that we managed to engage them through this platform as well. Needless to say that social media for us is very big, again, just because our core customer base is millennial. So we engage them through a lot of interesting things. We have competitions, for example, that you really engage people through. I think for Valentine's Day we had a great competition where you could win a trip to Paris and stay there with a hotel. Yeah, you think lingerie, you think Paris, you think Valentine's Day. So for example, we create competitions like that engage customers, and the competition is solely through social media, meaning through our Instagram, through our Twitter, through our Facebook accounts. We also had a very interesting partnership with InStyle, The Skim, and Vastjes Chocolate on Valentine's Day, where we handed out prizes as well, and these competitions are very big on social media. And also, every time we post on social media, we post exclusive codes. We have over 800,000 followers on Facebook. Wow. So if we want that cohort to be with us, we have to engage them. So it's constantly through competitions, through new images. We have photo shoots all the time. We have a new photo shoot every single month. We just had a photo shoot in the Caribbean. So even though we haven't posted some of the photos yet, we constantly upload them online, and we ask people what they think about our models, about our photos, etc. Another thing that's actually very, at least for me, from a customer standpoint, is very engaging. Lingerie has huge lead times, meaning you design something, it's going to come out next year. So why not use the 800,000 followers that we have on Facebook to help us predict trends? So for example, what we did a few months ago is we had a couple of designs, and we were really thinking between what design should we go with. We posted online, we posted on Facebook, we posted on Instagram, and we asked our cohort, what do you think? What design do you like best? And so our shoppers actually selected, it was actually corset. They selected the corset that they liked best, and we launched it, a few months later, yeah.
That's great. So you're really leveraging your follower base, not just pushing messages out to them, not just sharing promo codes or content, even though the content's very important, but you're actually getting them involved with the development of the brand.
Definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of talk about crowdsourcing, but for us, it is really just tapping into the intelligence of our shoppers. At the end of the day, they're going to select the product, and so we are able to tap into that resource. You really see, this. We love our shoppers to be very, very engaged in our brand and very engaged in what we do. So yeah, as you said, it's a lot more than just giving them, a discount code. It's hearing what they think. It's seeing how they engage with our different products, with our different models. Something that is very interesting that we did, that Morgan has also addressed briefly in the panel, is that we A/B test our lingerie models. Meaning, for example, if we feature several lingerie models on our website or on our TV ad, for example, it is interesting for us to see how shoppers respond to each of the models, and it's actually very interesting to see that people engage very emotionally with certain models, and even sometimes, the pose that a certain model has, whether she has her hand on her hair or on her hip. For example, we had a model that when she had her hand on her hair and not on her hip, it doubled sales.
Wow,
so
interesting.
Yeah, so you can really tap into those things, through social and also online, also on mobile, and you see how people emotionally engage with your brand, with your imagery, with your products, and it has been extremely helpful for us and really surged our growth.
Oh, that's great. So, looking to the future, given your exceptional growth, over the past year, and how many different experiments and how many different ways you've tried to engage with your consumer over the past year. What's to come from you guys? I mean, are there any key lessons learned, based on your conversations with consumers that you've decided, hey, we're going to invest in that, we're going to try that, or is there anything new that you plan to just test and see how your shoppers respond?
That is a great question. So first of all, really growth is, growth, as I said, is exponential at Adore Me, and by end of this year, we expect to be larger than well-known brands such as Jean Provocateur, for example. So that is huge for us. And when you think, when you're saying about how do you want to test new initiatives or check new things, so as I said, we launched a national TV campaign 2 months ago, which is pretty much a rarity for a startup. Sometimes startups, they're a bit doubtful about TV, or sometimes they take first steps in local TV. We went straight to national, and that was a very interesting experiment, and we're probably going to expand that experiment further. Other things that we are looking into throughout the years to come is trying to experiment with slight retail presence, meaning how do we look into pop-up stores, perhaps an innovative concept for a pop-up store, but nonetheless, how do we engage with our customers face-to-face and not just through online. And again, we launched our mobile apps less than a year ago, and they're doing extremely well, so it's constantly pushing the envelope with our apps, with our website, with our imagery, with our testing, with crowdsourcing our products, and constantly thinking of new challenges and new ways to engage with customers. So there is definitely a lot to come still from Adore Me.
Excellent. Well, it seems like you guys are doing a great job so far, and we're excited to see what the future holds for Adore Me. So, Sharon, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with me today. And thanks everyone out there for watching.